Good morning and welcome to Rockstar UK. In this episode we're going to be fitting the coilovers to the Mk6 Fiesta. I've been wanting to do this for weeks, but the weather over here has been really damp, really wet, and it's just been cold. So also, I don't know if you follow my Instagram, but I had a trapped nerve in my neck, which basically stopped me from doing anything for about 2 weeks. The doctor actually signed me off work for 2 weeks because it was that damaged. So I'm all back together now, all good, all well. So I'm gonna have a go at doing this job. So first things first is I've got to clear the Escort out. Oh, new seats for the Escort. So I've got to get the Escort out because I want to reverse the Fiesta into here so that I can sort of do the back end first and then the front end or whatever. We'll figure that out. And then obviously the Escort's going to go out here. I'll cover it up just in case it does rain. And then, yeah, all good. That's what we're going to do. Just in case it rains, bring the Fiesta into the front of the garage and, yeah, let's go. So, I guess first things first is to show you the box of goodies that I've got. So, let's get rid of that. Oh, I replaced my latch on the seat because it was broken. I've got some sockets. This one's a through socket, as you can see there, so you can stick this on the top strut and still get an Allen key down there to hold the top of the strut here and do it up, and that's the correct way to do it. None of this sort of like trying to hold this spline, or sorry, this your shock, and then rattle gunning it on, because that is just going to damage this here. So Allen key on the top and a correct socket to do so. Now this one is a spare shock that they sent me, because this top mount ring, which is where your strut cup or bush or whatever you want to call it sits in, and this basically is your spring seat as well, because the spring will sit in here. However, it doesn't fit, it's too big, so it's the wrong one for the vehicle. So rather than just send me this part, they sent me a whole new shock with the part on. I'm not complaining, it means I've got a spare shock, but anyway, so you get loads of these boxes. You can see they're all in there. So, shock. I bought brand new top mounts as well, which I've just like slaved onto here, just because I wanted to make sure it all sat correctly. Now, hang on, I'll come back to you one sec once I've got it unbagged. So, this is your helper spring. So this is a really small, it's just a preload spring to make sure that this all sits together nice and snug when you jack the car up. However, that's not going to help in this application because I'm decking it as far as I can. So I've already pre-tested. You can see down here there's a couple of threads for this locking ring with the spring seat ring. I will use the C-span as provided here to lock those in position. A little bit of Loctite wouldn't hurt, just on the thread. Here is where your brake pipe will run, and it clips into here. This is your locator, so basically as you stick the strut into the hub, or whatever you want to call it, that'll make sure you got it the right way around and that locate. This is the location point for your drop links, which you get a set of drop links in the kit. This is your main load spring. This is your spring, seat and cup. So as you can see, this cup sits into there nicely. I'm going to lubricate this because this is a moving part. It rotates. And then these bolt up into the top of the front strut. So that's the front. Get rid of the paperwork. I think this one's the front again. No, this is the backs. So this is what I want to show you. So this is an adjuster that you get for the rear so that you can up and down the height. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to run those. So, and this is your rear spring. Really hard, which is good. You can see coils get tighter at one end than the other. Now I just got to figure out which end or which way round these go. I would imagine, well, that sits into there like so. But I'm going to see how these fit first, because to be honest, I don't want to run them. I want to get this thing as low as possible. But if it's not usable being that low, then yeah, we'll sort it out. So that's it, the basic kit. So front end, obviously rear end. Oh, and you get some shocks as well. So sorry for all the moving around. I'm sure you guys have all seen a shock before. And then this is basically one bolt at the bottom, and then you've got to fit your top mount on there, and then it basically bolts up. So rear end, front end, nice and simple. Let's get to it. Right, so first things first, jack up your car, fit some axle stands, and undo all your wheel nuts, take the wheels off. Same on the other side. Now obviously make sure it's nice and sturdy before you go do anything underneath the car. Now for the shock bolts, there's a bolt here and same one there, the rear axle, sorry, and you'll be able to pull the springs out and the bottom of the shocks. Now to get to the top of the shocks, we're going to have to take the inner arch out, and then there's a cut of 10 mils up there. So let's get to it. Right, so back end didn't quite go to plan. Got the shock bolts out, and then I couldn't actually undo the two 10 mils at the top, so I'll have to do that another day where I can get some heat on them, and a pneumatic impact gun that will give it a good belt. However, I've put the springs in, no adjusters, and it's pretty low, so I'll just show you quickly and then we can get onto the front. So as you can see here, she's sitting pretty low. I love it. I love the stance of it. It looks perfect for me. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you go. So there's the yellow spring and the yellow spring that side. Right, so the rain is now set in and it's basically stop play. I'll quickly go around this side. So I've got the strut in, it's all in. The only problem is, right, so drop links, they're two 15 mils on the standard, then these are 14 mil replacements with the FKs. I've literally got to get this to drop another 10 mil just so I can get this final bolt through, and then it's done on that side. and I can do the other. What a pain in the ass. So good morning. Want to give you a bit of an update. I've been driving the Fiesta with the coilovers on it for about a week or so, and there's a couple of things, little tips that I want to give, because driving it at this low can give you a couple of issues. So number one, the shortened drop links in the FK kit are pretty much useless. Now if you put those on, you'll experience a really bad knock-in if you're at that ride height. Basically it doesn't push the anti-roll bar down enough, so you end up, it's just like tapping the frame, the anti-roll bar tapping the frame, which will eventually kill those drop links. So I bought some standard ones. I think they're about 13 quid. They're really cheap. Put them in, problem gone away. Now I've got to MOT the car this week. I took it to the MOT station and he tried to get it on his brake rollers, said it was too low. He didn't want to smash the front bumper off, which I appreciate. So just for the MOT I'm going to have to put the rear adjusters in, and I'm going to have to wind the fronts up a bit. So when I do that I will basically show you what I'm doing, so you can see how to adjust it. I will just go through all the things that have been done on the suspension, and also I've got a little exhaust to put on. A local chap was selling it, it was really cheap, so I thought why not stick it on. Hopefully the little diesel will sound better. So let's get to it. So as you can see, after a week or so of driving, they're pretty grubby already. I mean, the English weather over here is terrible at the moment, but it is what it is. So just to recap, there is down the bottom, sorry, where am I? I'm going, there it is, just there, that big bolt you see there. You take that one out and then you can tap the shock down. You can see there's a few marks here. Tap it down, it'll come out. And then you got up the top here on the inside, you've got 3 bolts or 3 nuts that you undo. You got a bolt here and follow the rod down to that bolt. That takes your drop link out, and then you can take the whole shock out. Now when you do it, just do the reverse. Obviously you've got your brake line clip as well. That's just a little clip in there which you just tap out, and then you slide it back in and just give it a little knock back in. Make sure you get it the right way up. If you don't, it'll be loose. Otherwise you want it nice and tight. Now I've got to adjust these. I've had it right down here. I put it on and then I put about 2.5 turns on to try to know that it's going to be alright. So I've just tapped this one loose. Just get a screwdriver just in here and just give it a little tap, and then this one can be wound up. And the only way you can do that really is by getting your C-spanner on it, and just turn it and keep turning until you get to the desired height. So just to show you what I've done, I measured from this bottom edge here to the bottom of this flange here, this one. So there to there, I've just raised it up an inch. So let's hopefully that'll do the job. And then on the back I'll just put the adjuster bases in and see what that does. So I hope that little coilover guide helps you out. So take it for its MOT, which is like an annual test, and yeah, it rides a lot, very similar to standard, so I'm quite impressed. So please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.